The history of CIIS goes way back to 1950. It was called then the American Academy of Asian Studies. It was brought together by a number of people who felt that after the Second World War, distrust had developed between America and Asia. So, to create the dialogue of introducing spiritual cultures of Asia to America was the intention at that time. One of the founding philosophers of CIIS was Frederick Spiegelberg. He had visited India and scouted out some of the living spiritual personalities of India. One of the people who impressed him most was Sri Aurobindo, a philosopher and yogi who had written extensively and taught a version of spiritual practice called integral yoga. Spiegelberg brought one of the foremost scholars of integral yoga to America, and that was Haridas Chaudhuri. Another important figure he brought was Alan Watts, a very famous scholar of Zen Buddhism. This was the 1950s, and CIIS was instrumental in actually seeding some of the ideas that became the San Francisco Renaissance of that time. This institution lasted for a while, and then in 1968, Haridas Chaudhuri left to found the second incarnation of CIIS. It was called the California Institute of Asian Studies. And here the idea continued to build some of the dialogue between East and West, but also an important approach that he introduced was to redefine the human psyche in terms of some of the spiritual understandings of Asia. So when Chaudhuri died in 1975, the institute was undergoing accreditation, and the name was changed by the trustees to reflect the more universal ideas behind that particular incarnation. It became the California Institute of Integral Studies. Integral in CIIS reflects our ability to bring together mind, life, body, different cultures, different approaches, which seem to be fragmented in our times. How can we find wholeness? In addition to the problems with which CIIS began, we start finding additional problems today that include ecology, culture, politics, gender. A variety of new approaches have entered our living circumstances. So how can we find integral spiritual solutions to these problems? That is the field of research and scholarship that CIIS opens, and that is what you all are invited to participate in as new scholar practitioners and members of CIIS.